Hello everybody, and welcome back to Super Robot Ward C2 Hakai Hen. On this stage we have to defeat every enemy within 3 player turns to get the SR point, so it's nothing too difficult. I did have kind of a, I guess you could call it a clutch near the end there, but it wasn't anything that I would call too challenging. You may need to retry the stage once, but that's about it. In the beginning of the stage, I'm moving around some parts here. I give this unit the Minovsky craft, I think it's called. I'm too lazy to actually translate the name there. But yeah, it lets him fly. You know, it lets him fly when you see a little symbol appear in the bottom. Because if you go to a unit that can fly, that symbol also appears there. On the bottom near the left there. So he can fly now. So that's great. I think I took it off from by accident because I was thinking of giving it to somebody else. But yeah, I did. Well, it's not by accident then, but there was no one else I really could give it to. I guess I could give it to Wing Zero or whatever, but I don't think that's really necessary. So I just give it back to, I don't know what it's called, Burai, I think it's called? I'm not sure, to be honest. The Zinger Z eventually gets his own upgrade to fly, so I wouldn't recommend giving it to him. I mean, you could give it to him. You can give this part to anybody you want, just lets him fly. So I just give it to him because, he could use it, I guess. I think I need to talk more loudly, considering that I'm always kind of quiet in my recordings, but I never know the reason why exactly, because when I take a look at the audio for the game and the audio for my commentary, this should be louder, but it's always quieter than the gameplay audio. Like the gameplay audio, when I look at like the audio levels, it's like very, very tiny. But when I look at my commentary, it's like all over the place, the audio levels, and I'm always quieter. So I think I need to speak a little bit more loudly to actually get my point across. Not point across, so I can actually be heard. Hopefully this will fix any audio issues. Probably not, but eh. Jericho, Holland, Crow, and Alto are the pilots that I want to always have in a stage so they can get the kills they need. So to make sure it's within 3 player turns and not within 3 turns to kill all the enemies, so you don't have that as much time as you would. You don't have that much time, I should say. So you need to do as much damage to different enemies as possible if you can. So don't focus on killing one enemy. Focus on doing damage to different types of enemies, not different types, to different enemies. And you want to spread out your units kind of evenly in all directions. Doing something that I'm doing should get you the SR point, no problem. The only thing I would say is you might want to move Rasta along the... You might want to put him towards the right and have him with the units near the right there instead of going up towards the center of all these enemy units here. Considering it's only 3 player turns, I'm not really too worried about using my spirit points because it's only 3 player turns and there is no enemy reinforcements, so there really is no need to conserve SR points. I would say make sure Mazinger Z has enough spirit for XL so he can move 3 more spaces, because that actually saved me near the end. Otherwise I probably wouldn't have been able to complete the stage in one go. So I'm Rasta towards the center, but you might want to move him all the way up because I had some units that were able to move again, but on the 3rd player turn, but they weren't able to hit anybody. So that's why I say you might want to move Rasta towards the top, or use XL on Mazinger Z right from the get-go to get him all the way up towards the units on the upper right. Also can't hit anybody. I don't actually use any of Heroes' better moves in this stage. Mostly because there really was never a point where I really needed to use it. He might have used his better moves in a counterattack, but so I don't ever, in my turns, I don't use anything but the Beam Saber and the Vulcan whatever thing on his head, machine gun on the Gundam's head. I wouldn't recommend really relying on. I wouldn't recommend using Invis or Guard. Mazinger Z can tank the damage on his own just fine, so there really isn't any point in doing something like that. Just a bit paranoid with Zero here. I don't really want to move him too far in. I think I could have and been fine, but I don't. And there really isn't any special animations now that he's flying. I mean, he looks down, but there really isn't anything special besides that. And I think with that level up, Zero gained Invincible, or whatever it's called. But he can now use Invis, I'll call it Invis, and only take 10 points of damage, which is useful. The Macross also saved me here too. If I didn't have the Macross battleship there, I would have also failed the map. So move your battleships in. You're going to need them. I feel like these guys in the helicopters must be terrified because they're going... I'm pretty sure these helicopters are much smaller than all of these mechs here. That guy's dead. He's not alive. No way he's alive. Anyway, they start going after Chirico. Chirico I'm not really too worried about. He's the best. I don't think it's... I'm pretty sure the helicopter is around the same size as Scope Dog. I wouldn't think it would be smaller than him. The Scope Dog really isn't that big. It's only like a few meters tall. like 2 or 3 meters, something like that. I'm an American, so I don't like using the metric system. It makes me angry. No. Not the joke from, what was that game? What was that game called? Find out what that game was called. I can't for the life of me remember what it was called. Dying Light, that's what it was. Dying Light. Dying Light was the game. And I think Jericho is going to get his 70 kills rather soon. I don't think he'll have any trouble getting it because he already has 40 kills, so he only needs another 30 more. Same thing with Holland also. They don't have as many kills. Well, Holland has around the same amount of kills as Jericho. Just 30 something now. But I imagine Holland will definitely get his 50 kills by stage 30. After he gets that many kills, I'm really focusing on him. Well, with that interruption, anyway, as I was saying, once Holland gets 50 kills, I won't really use him to finish off units anymore. Because there's sort of a weird thing going on where I'm trying to get kills for these guys that need the kills, but at the same time I need to focus on getting the SR points. There are times where I want them to get the kills, but they just can't get the kills because the SR point is what I'm more focused on at the moment. On later stages, if after I get the SR point and there's enemies left, I'm probably just gonna start doing something where I just kill them all with Holland, Alto, or Jericho just so they can get a lot of kills real fast. I'll mention that in the episode if I do that. I find these units kind of funny because they're essentially just robot crabs. And they're not too difficult, but they do have quite a bit of HP. And they were the reason I was in a bit of trouble earlier on in the stage. No, later on in the stage, I should say. No, not earlier on. But otherwise, do the same to them as you do to other enemies, and try to damage them if you can. Originally, I didn't really like to use Holland that much when I first played the game, because he was unupgraded, and when he was unupgraded, he got hit a lot. And that was just my first impression of him when we were forced to use him during those beginning stages. Now that I'm using him to get a secret, he's not that bad. He has a lot of evade after, some upgrades. That's good. I don't really use them across units either. Like in this game, I never used them, and so this is the first time I used them that much. It wasn't until Z3 where I started using them a lot. Or actually, I think it says Z2 Hakai Hen, because I actually tried to use them. Because I went through routes in which their stories were focused, but in Z2 Hakai Hen, I'm going to go through the BS routes just to get a special secret, which changes the story completely. So, yeah. That secret is available on the second playthrough automatically. Like, it's just an option you can pick. But on the first playthrough, you need to complete some special conditions in order to get the secret. And I'll be doing a first playthrough of, the next Super Robo Wars game. Of every Super Robo Wars games I play, except maybe Operation Extend. As you guys may know, I have videos of that on my channel, but without any commentary over them. I guess I could just like download those videos again and just commentate over them. But I think it might be best to redo them all over again. Zero has invis there, so I move him up without really any worry about his, overall safety, because he's got invis. He can take a hit. He does damage, but unfortunately it's not enough to kill. Zero will eventually get a new unit that can fly later on in the game. So I just give him that, oh, probably shouldn't have done doesn't matter. But you shouldn't do more than one invis on Remonecia on this map. I don't really told me that much because it can't attack on its own yet. So I don't really want to move it in and have the enemy units attack it instead of other robots that can actually hurt the enemy units. So the two crab guys here are done for. Alright, we'll attack that one crab unit over there, no issue. And there you see the barrier that her login has equipped. And that characters will actually comment on their barriers working if they do work. Because if they don't, they do work all the time, but if they get broken through, like that barrier only absorbs 1,000 damage, I believe, so if that attack would have done less than 1,000 damage. If attack does more than 1,000 damage, it breaks through, but I believe it does 1,000 damage less than it would have otherwise done. So that's useful. He has 31 kills. How much does Holland have here? 31. So yeah, he only needs 20 more kills. The next time stage it has enemies after I get the SR point, I probably will just kill all of them with Holland, so I get 50 kills. And then, do the same thing with the Jericho and Alta later on. Like I said, if you're not focusing on getting the SR points, just send out Holland or have him have units do enough damage where Holland can finish them off, and just have Holland go around and clean up. It'll take a little while, but you'll get the secrets. You'll be able to secure your ability to get the secret, I guess you could say. So at the get-go, I didn't really, it really isn't in a favorable position to attack anything right now. So I have Getter attack the crab guy over here, I think. I have Setsuna here attack that crab guy down there because if you remember, Setsuna has continuous action, so after his will reaches a certain range, he can move again in a turn. And I think that ability is absent in the Z3 games because it's kind of overpowered. If you give it to every unit that you have, you essentially have double the amount of units in that map. So I can see why they got rid of it. I was kind of dependent on Holland finishing that guy off, because if he didn't finish that guy off, I would have been screwed. Luckily, we were able to finish him off. Now here I'm checking which unit has the most amount of health, and that is that unit right there. I forget what this ability is called, but like I said, it multiplies damage by 1.1 and decreases the enemy attack damage by, well, multiplies it by 0.9. To be honest, I should have done it on one of the crab guys as well. There is another unit that has in this map that I have that does have that ability as well. I think it's in one of the pilots in the Ptolemy. But I find that out after I already attacked those crab units over there. So then Kuganova over here has no problem finishing off this guy over here. And Kuganova will also eventually get an upgrade, which will allow it to fly. By an upgrade, I mean that the unit will get more powerful and get, you know, the ability to fly. You'll find out later. So of course, Gurren finishes that guy off. No more units there, so I'm not necessarily worried about anything right now. Since Frost already has A status, or Croix already has A status, there is no need for him to get any more kills, besides bragging rights, I guess. So he doesn't really need to get kills anymore. So I think I damaged that orange guy over there. I think I'm just trying to get a support attack in here for no real reason. Oh yeah, actually finish him off. Forgot about that. Brosta actually can do. That's why I suggested you put Brosta over where Mazinger Z and the other guys are. It turns out that in I forget what that called. Battletoid mode, I think that's what that's called. He doesn't have another move when he's in Battletoid mode. And when he gets some of the other packs in the later games, and maybe in this game, the Battletoid and the fighter mode have different, sometimes have different final moves. Callan can't do much here. So I send not zero, hero up here to do damage to that one guy. And he actually does around 2,000 damage here, so that's good. So I have him across, do its move along with having this attack from a lock on there. So only one unit was needed to take out that crab guy. And it works. So yay. To be honest, what I should have done is I should have a God Mars attack that unit over there, and have Jericho kill the weaker crab unit. But I think I used God Mars to kill the weaker the crab unit for some reason. Now that I'm looking over, I probably was overthinking things. Yeah, I probably should have done the other way around here. I thought they were both at max health, which is why I should have attacked the other unit, but I don't do that, so I put myself in a bit of a corner here. But it really isn't an issue. To be honest, what I should have done is have Zero kill that crab guy, have Lockhand kill the orange guy up there, and then send the Remonecia and Curious up there to kill that insect-like unit, I guess. And see, that's where I see that, the Ptolemy has that one Spirit Command, which I probably should have used on that crab guy, and maybe Jericho would have finished him off then, but unfortunately, you can't go back in time. Really, here is just me contemplating on what to actually do and wondering if I put myself in a corner. I'm wondering if I screwed myself. I mean, I think it's kind of obvious that I didn't. So I'm gonna Curious attack that guy over there. 4,000 damage. Z can go up there with XL and use Breast Fire. And using Z does in fact take that unit down, so we're good to go. And then I have Zero here. It's been more safe. I forgot Zero had that ability too. I should have done that. Well, it doesn't matter. I did everything correct because Zero does actually a decent amount of damage, almost 4,000. But he did get a critical hit, so you get the SR point. These guys appear, but you don't fight them at all. I don't know what they do exactly, but I think it causes us to retreat, maybe? I don't know. Well, at this point, there's no need for me to be here anymore. I don't really have anything else to add, but oh yeah, if you press square and the R button here, it automatically fills in the extra command thing order or whatever there with pilots. So that's something. So that's all I really wanted to say. I think I give Zero a Harrow part, but anyway, Harrow gives gives movement, mobility, and accuracy boosts a lot. Huge. Look at that. So I give that to Zero. That's all I really need to say. So enjoy the rest of the video if you want to see how I upgrade, my units. So I'll see you guys again next time, whenever that is. Bye.